Hi everyone. So after some of the shared reading labs, a few of you asked me questions about the phonemic awareness part of it, and as we did as a warm up, and like what should you do? How do you decide what to do? And so I wanted to reshare this phonemic awareness skills development tool, and give you a quick explanation how it works. Again, this is something that you can do a whole class. You could do with a small group of kids. Yeah. And the cool thing about this is it builds on itself. So it's going to start with easier things and then like compound words, syllables, and moving into onset rhymes, and then getting directly into um, phonemes. And then you can also see across the top, it gets harder as you go. So blending is easier than segmenting, it's easier, and then it gets harder. Adding, deleting, and substituting. So these are the different activities or areas you can work in with phonemic awareness. And this tool is, again, going to start with the easiest part. So here we've got blending words in a sentence. So you're just, this for many of your kids, we probably don't need to do. But you can see how it goes from a sentence to then adding a word in a sentence to deleting a word from a sentence and then changing a word in a sentence. So that same, we're working with the sentence level of things, but where it's getting more complicated as it goes across. And you can also see as it goes down how it's in these three different groups. The sentences also get more complicated usually. So I can jump high, compared to blue fish are in the pond, the black ant crawled up. You can also make your own sentences that go with what you're learning. But at least this has a place for you to start and get an idea. It tells you exactly what to say. Say the sentence, I can jump high. Now don't say hi. What's the new sentence? I can jump. So each one gets a little bit harder. Here we're working with compound words. So here we could have blending compound words, segmenting a compound word, adding a word to create a compound, deleting a word, changing. So you can see that blending, segmenting, adding, deleting, substitution is going across the top the whole way. Then we get into blending syllables. Then the more difficult, now we're doing onset rhyme. Then we go into phonemes. So now we're getting to that phonemic, just the different sounds that you're hearing. Then you're getting into more phonemes, talking about initial phonemes. Then a little bit harder, final phonemes, medial, in the middle vowels or phoneme vowels in that one. Going to blends, blending, segmenting, deleting, and external. So you can see how they're just building on as you go to get harder and harder with that manipulation. There's many other different things you can do, but this is a great place to start and give you some ideas. There's also the rhyming you can do. Think about the rhyming, like listening to a rhyme is easier than creating a rhyme. So thinking about those things when kids are struggling. If they're struggling with creating rhymes, go back to creating or to listening for rhymes. If they're struggling with, if you try to do, I'm going to do deleting an initial phoneme and they're struggling with it, well, go back a little bit, make it a little bit easier and build up to these things. So this is a place where you can start to integrate some of that phonemic awareness. We know phonemic awareness is so important when we're building language and learning how to hear the different sounds. When we have students who can't hear the sounds when they're spelling a word, and we're just like, they're not hearing all these different sounds. Well, they might not be hearing all those different sounds. And so really focusing on this phonemic awareness piece can help build up that ear for listening and tuning in and being able to manipulate and play with sounds, which is a huge predictor of success in reading. And it's so, so, so important. So if you're interested in working on this more, let me know. But I will share this document with you and feel free to give it a try. Thanks.